Charitable trusts in India are governed by the Central Charitable Trusts Act and the Income Tax Act. Rotarians are sometimes unaware of the meaning or constitution of a charitable trust and whether they are relevant at all to the activities of a Rotary Club. When a Rotary Club raises funds for its community service activities, it is desirable to create a charitable trust, get the same registered and recognized under the Income Tax Act, and route all funds of the club through the said trust. This way, the club would avoid possible income tax incidents on such funds, thus making all funds raised available to the purpose for which they were raised. A charitable trust can be created by any member of the club as the author of such trust, with even a small amount of, say, 1,000. With professional help from a chartered accountant, member, the rules and bylaws of the management and administration of such trusts can be drafted and incorporated in the trust deed, which can be and is required to be registered at the sub-registrar's office to secure a registration and recognition under the Income Tax Act. It is to be noted that under the present provision of the Income Tax Act, 85% of the funds raised by way of donations and voluntary contributions in any financial year are required to be spent on charitable activities before the end of that year itself or in the next financial year. Accumulations are allowed up to 5 years for specific purposes after getting the approval of the income tax authorities. Where the amount of funds proposed to be raised are substantial or where the donors would be benefited better, the trust can also apply for recognition under Section 80G of the Income Tax Act, by which the donors would get a tax deduction for their donations to the trust. Charitable trusts are required to maintain separate accounts and submit the annual audited accounts and returns to the income tax authorities. Where a charitable trust proposes to get funds from abroad or proposes to execute a matching grant project with overseas funding from the Rotary Foundation, then the trust would also have to obtain a prior recognition or registration with the relevant authority under the Central Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. Even though charitable trusts are separate entities in the eyes of law, it is desirable to appoint trustees from the membership of the club and to make such office ex officio to the club membership and to ensure continuity in trusteeship and accountability of its finances and activities to the club.